Sessions at AOL. I'm Chris Doritas with the one and only David Cassidy.
Thank you.
It's so good to meet you finally.
Well, yes, indeed. I appreciate that. It's nice to meet you at long last.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because during the Partridge Family, when they changed Chris's,
You were thinking?
I was thinking,
Yeah.
you know, being a Chris,
Right.
I used to have dreams that I would be a part of the Partridge Family.
Tell me about your dreams, Chris. Have they stopped?
They've stopped.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, now I feel comfortable. Okay, now I'm safe.
Yeah, exactly. You're safe. Yeah.
Well, that's good. A lot of people, it did that to 2-3 generations now, and it inspired a lot of people. And, you know, I've always been really proud of that so many musicians and artists that are far better guitar players than I am now, but in their early days, you know, they were inspired to go out, as I was when I watched the Ed Sullivan show when I was 13 years old and saw the Beatles, and next day I went out and got an electric guitar, and from then on, that was 63, so
Yeah.
I'm still playing.
You know, I was reading something about how it was a coincidence that you ended up on the Partridge Family with Shirley Jones.
Oh, well, it was total coincidence. I'd been an actor working. I'd done a Broadway show about a year and a half before I did the pilot, and I had been brought out. The show closed, but the day after it closed, they flew me out to do a screen test for a movie, and I didn't get the movie. I was 18, and it was about a college guy, but I looked, you know, like 14, 15. So I began doing television that next year when I was 18, 19. And I did leads in all of the dramatic television shows, Bonanza, you know, Mod Squad, Medical Center, Ironsides, Marcus Welby, all of them, you know, and big parts. And I just went from one job to the next in a whole year, which was a season, although there were 2 seasons. But at the end of the year, I read for a pilot. And I had to read 6 times, and then I had to read for the network. Then we had to make what they used to do in the 1970 was to actually put you on film. And they took 2 groups of people. And I had done 6 auditions for this already, you know, and was really getting hot in TV. And I actually played guitar. Nobody asked or cared. It was about this, you know, I read the script and I thought, I've got 6 lines in this. I've been doing, like, you know, dramatic roles and, you know, playing killers and, you know, just really cool stuff for a young actor to start and become successful in paying your rent without having to wait tables or do any of that. And I was 19, out of high school a year and a half. So I got the script, and I went and read, and I met with the producers and the casting director. And in fact, Paul Witt of Witt Thomas was just the producer. He wasn't even the executive producer. And he and I got on really well. And he knew I was the right guy, I think, because I was very musical and all that stuff. But they didn't care. You know, they were casting actors. And I got to the set after going through all these network readings and studio readings and casting director and producer. So I was on my 5th or 6th audition at this point, reading the same lines and same scenes. And Bernard Slade was there, who wrote The Partridge Family, and also he wrote Same Time Next Year and Tribute, and, you know, I mean, he's a fantastic writer. And he created the show. And I walked on the set the morning of the screen test with the crew and everybody there, and I walked on, and I see next to the phone on the soundstage, I see my stepmother, Shirley Jones. And I walk over to her and I go, "What are you doing here?" She said, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Well, I'm screen testing for the role of the oldest kid." She went, "Oh my God." I said, "What are you doing here?" She said, the role was originally called Connie. That's how it was written in the pilot. She said, "Well, as of last night, I'm playing the mother." So we decided, because no one identified she and I together, because I didn't grow up with her, and, you know, I think they assumed that I was kind of a little old to be actually Shirley's. She was like 30, you know, 32. She could have been my maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, I looked younger than that, so she said, "Don't tell him that." I said, "Okay, you don't tell him either, okay?" And we did the screen test. I left, heard over the weekend the following Monday that, like about 5, 6 days later, that I got the part. So I called her up and I said, "So, how we doing this? I guess we need to tell them." And she said, "It's all right." They called me and told me you got the part. And I said, I was thrilled and that we get along great and we've been friends. And we were and still are. So she'd already won an Academy Award at that time, and it'd been like, and it's interesting now because people don't remember her musicals and her movie career. They remember her from the Partridge Family,
Right.
which for her must be so strange because one of the few people that, at that time was able to take a fantastic movie career. She wanted to stay home and be with her kids. My brothers, Sean, Patrick, and Ryan, were like 12, 13, 9, 5, 6 when we started. So it was great for her because she didn't have to go on location and do all of that. And we became very, very close, working every day together for 100 episodes in 4.5 years. So it was wonderful.
What's the toughest thing about growing up in front of America like that?
Being allowed to grow up fully and become an adult and be seen when you have an impact, I think.